Chapter 1. The New Kings of Football. History wasn't written in books. It was written on the pitch. Welcome to Pitch Rewind. For 12 long years, Spain waited. A generation that once ruled world football had faded into history. The heroes of 2010 had retired. Xavi, Iniesta, David Villa, Sergio Ramos. The golden era was over. Many believed Spain would never dominate football the same way again. But football has a way of creating new legends. A new generation emerged. Young stars with fearless confidence, creative midfielders who controlled matches, relentless attackers. A team that blended Spain's famous possession football with speed, intensity, and clinical finishing. They weren't trying to recreate the past. They were building a new future. As the 2026 FIFA World Cup began, Spain arrived with belief, but they were not everyone's favorites. The spotlight was on defending champions Argentina, France, Brazil, England, Portugal. Yet, quietly, Spain kept growing stronger with every match. Each victory built momentum. Each performance sent a message to the football world. By the time the knockout rounds arrived, nobody wanted to face them. What followed was one of the most impressive World Cup campaigns of the modern era. This is the story of how Spain climbed back to the top of world football and became world champions once again. Chapter 2. The road begins. Every World Cup champion has a beginning. For Spain, the journey started long before the opening whistle of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. After lifting the UEFA Euro 2024 trophy, expectations reached heights they hadn't seen in over a decade. The world was watching. Could this new generation live up to the legacy of Xavi, Iniesta, and the heroes of 2010? Or would the pressure prove too much? Head coach Luis de la Fuente had transformed Spain into something different. They still valued all of the past. This Spain attacked with speed, pressed relentlessly, and punished every mistake. Young stars like Lamine Yamal, Nico Williams, and Pedri brought creativity and fearlessness. Experienced leaders such as Rodri gave the team balance, composure, and confidence when the pressure was at its highest. Every player understood the mission, not to recreate history, but to write a new chapter. When Spain arrived in North America, they weren't the loudest favorites. Most predictions focused on Argentina defending their title, France's incredible depth, Brazil's attacking talent, England's golden generation, Portugal's experienced stars. Spain quietly went about their business. Inside the dressing room, there was only one belief: 7 matches. 7 opportunities, 1 dream. The opening match wasn't just about earning 3 points. It was about making a statement to the rest of the world. Every pass, every tackle, every goal would bring them one step closer to football immortality. They weren't chasing revenge. They weren't trying to prove the critics wrong. They were chasing something much bigger, a second star above the Spanish crest. And by the time the group stage was over, the football world would realize something terrifying. Spain weren't simply contenders. They were becoming the team everyone feared. The road to glory had officially begun. Chapter 3. The group stage. Champions aren't crowned in the final. They rebuilt one match at a time. As Spain stepped onto the pitch for their opening game, millions watched with one question in mind: were they truly ready? The pressure was enormous. Every mistake would be criticized. Every victory would be expected. But from the very first whistle, Spain looked different. The passing was sharp. The movement was relentless. The confidence was unmistakable. Their midfield controlled the tempo. Their wingers stretched every defense, and whenever opponents thought they had found a way through, Spain found another gear. Game after game, the victories kept coming. The goals flowed. The defense stood firm. The chemistry between experienced leaders and fearless young stars became impossible to ignore. Rodri dictated the rhythm. Pedri pulled the strings in midfield. Lamine Yamal dazzled defenders with fearless dribbles. Nico Williams brought explosive pace on the wings. Every player knew their role. Every player fought for the badge. As the group stage progressed, one thing became clear: Spain weren't just winning. They were sending a warning to every team left in the tournament. The favorites began to take notice. The media changed its tone. Fans around the world started asking the same question: could this be Spain's year? When the final group stage whistle blew, Spain had done exactly what champions do. They advanced with confidence. Momentum was on their side. But the real challenge was only just beginning, because in the knockout stage, there are no second chances. One bad night, and the dream is over. Spain had survived the opening chapter. Now, the road to football immortality entered its most dangerous stage. Chapter 4. The knockout stage. The group stage was over. Now, every match became a final. There were no second chances, no room for mistakes. Win or go home. This is where World Cups create heroes, and where dreams come to an end. Spain entered the knockout stage carrying the hopes of an entire nation. Every opponent knew exactly what awaited them. A team that dominated possession, pressed relentlessly, and punished the smallest mistake. But knockout football is different. One moment can change everything. Every tackle was harder. Every pass carried greater importance, even calmer. Rodri controlled the midfield with incredible composure. Pedri found spaces nobody else could see. Lamine Yamal continued to play without fear, taking on defenders as if the occasion meant nothing. Nico Williams stretched defenses with blistering pace. At the back, Spain defended as one. Every block, every interception, every save brought inside the dressing room. The dream that had seemed so distant only weeks earlier was beginning to feel real. The football world was no longer asking whether Spain could win the World Cup. Instead, they were asking who could possibly stop them. Only 4 teams remained. Just 2 victories separated Spain from football immortality. But standing between them and the final were opponents just as desperate to write their own history. The pressure had never been greater. The stakes had never been higher. And yet, Spain looked stronger than ever. The road to the World Cup final was now within touching distance. Chapter 5. The Semifinal. Only 4 teams remained. Spain had come too far to stop now. 1 victory. That was all that separated them from another FIFA World Cup final. But history doesn't care how well you've played before. It only remembers who wins. The atmosphere was electric. Millions watched across the globe. Every tackle echoed through the slow start. From the opening whistle, they controlled possession. Patient, precise, relentless. But their opponents refused to surrender. Every chance was fiercely contested. Every loose ball became a battle. Then, Spain found their breakthrough. A move that began deep in their own half. Quick passes, intelligent movement, perfect timing. The ball hit the back of the net. Every clearance, every save, every tackle brought them closer. Then, the referee looked at his watch. One final. The defending champions, Argentina, a team led by world-class talent, a nation determined to defend its crown. The stage was set. The football world would witness a final for the ages. Spain versus Argentina. 1 trophy, 1 champion, 1 moment that would be remembered forever. Chapter 6. The final. History had brought one side stood the defending champions, Argentina, a nation desperate to retain football's greatest prize. On the other, a fearless Spain side chasing history. The atmosphere inside the stadium was unlike anything the players had ever experienced. Millions watched across the globe. Every touch, every tackle, every decision could change football history forever. The referee blew the whistle. The World Cup final had begun. Argentina started brightly, looking to impose themselves early. Spain answered with calm possession and quick passing. Neither side went. Still, nothing could separate them. The second half brought even greater intensity. Spain searched for an opening. Argentina fought for every ball. The goalkeepers stood tall. Defenders threw themselves into challenges. The tension inside the stadium became unbearable. 90 minutes, still 0-0. Extra time. Pedro Porro surged down the right wing and delivered a dangerous cross into the penalty area. Nico Williams rose highest, winning the aerial duel. The ball, Argentina threw everything forward. Every attack carried hope. Every clearance carried relief. Then, the trophy. Chapter 7. The trophy lift. The final whistle had blown. Spain had done it. The scoreboard read, Spain 1, Argentina 0. Months of preparation, weeks of sacrifice, 120 minutes of relentless football. It had all led to this moment. The players embraced one another. Some fell to their knees. Others looked up to the sky. Tears of joy filled their eyes. For every player wearing the red shirt. This was the dream they had chased since childhood. Around the stadium, Spanish supporters sang louder than ever. Flags waved proudly. The celebrations had already begun. Then, the stage was prepared. One by one, the medals were placed around the players' necks. They smiled. They laughed. They relived every moment of the tournament, from the opening match to the dramatic final. Every challenge had been worth it. At the front of the line stood the captain, Rodri. He stepped forward. The FIFA World Cup trophy was placed into his hands. For one brief moment, time seemed to stand still. Then, Rodri lifted the trophy into the air. The stadium erupted. Golden confetti filled the sky. Fireworks illuminated the night. The roar of thousands became unforgettable. Spain were world champions, not because of one player, not because of one goal, but because an entire team believed in one dream. A new generation had written its own chapter in football history. The legends of 2010 would always be remembered. But now, a new generation stood beside them. Champions, heroes, immortal. And as the celebrations continued long into the night, the football world witnessed the beginning of a brand new Spanish dynasty.